Okay, Happy New Year to my subscribers. I thought I'd do a quick video today. I've hit 200 subscribers on the YouTube channel and I have a brand new calculator for the year. So my Christmas present this year was my coveted rose gold TI 84 Plus CE that I have been wanting to get for quite some time. So I just thought I'd look at it as a comparison to the other calculators in my household collection. So I have a few children that are doing maths, so some of these are their calculators, and so I thought I'd just go through the differences between the ones that I have. So my new one is the TI 84 Plus CE Python. Now the big difference with the Python to just the TI 84 Plus CE is that fraction button that we've got there. Now the newer ones of just the Plus CE can do that just by doing the alpha and pressing that button, even though the fraction button is not there on the screen. I think I've shown how to do that on my red calculator, which I have loaned out over the holidays. But as you can see, so this is my rose gold one, that's the big difference. I have a newer TI 84 Plus CE that has that fraction button, so not the Python version, but still has that fraction, so that's a newer one that I picked up over the holidays secondhand for one of my boys. Then I have this one here, which is my daughter's old one that she just finished with, which is also the TI 84 Plus CE, but doesn't have that fraction function over the XT theta n button like the newer version. So even though they are both TI 84 Plus CE calculators, there is that difference between the slightly newer version of that than the other. So there's no difference in their branding or the name of it. Everything else is identical. It's just that fraction format there that you can access. Then I also have, which I picked up over the holidays as well to have as a spare, is a TI 84 Plus. So the difference between the CE and the Plus. So obviously you've got a size difference here. So you can see the thickness difference there. Also you've got, which some people might like better, is this one is just your batteries that you put in here rather than having to charge your Plus CE version. So that can sometimes be an advantage for people. Obviously you can pick these up a lot cheaper if you are looking for a graphics calculator and can't afford to buy it new or can't find a second-hand one. These ones do most of the stuff that a maths method students will need. The only difference that I've found that really sets them apart, obviously other than the size, is the one thing that I have noticed when we are doing our stats probability stuff is that when you do your second vars and you want to do your inverse norm, the one thing different here is that you can't set whether it's left aligned, right aligned, or center, which the Plus CE ones do. So just to show you the difference in the screen, so see how we can go left, center, right. Now, obviously this is something that in the past we didn't have, and so we would have, if we were looking for the area, obviously it was going from the lower, from the left through to the number that you were putting in, so you could always work out the part that you needed. So it wasn't necessarily, it's always something you can work around. Whereas this one, you can go straight to the answer. Here you may just have to draw your picture, work out what you've got and what you're trying to find out. So these ones, I still have students using these, still perfectly fine to use. Basically the only difference is that feature when finding the area between 2 points on your standard curve. So doing your normal curve. That's pretty much the only thing I've noticed, other than when you're graphing. Obviously the difference we've got is a color graph versus your black and white. Still able to do all the same things that the Plus CE does, just that you won't have the different colors in your graphs. You'll need to know which is which if you're graphing multiple graphs on the same axes. That's about the only difference I've found. So definitely if you are unable to spend the money on the Plus CE, if you can pick up an 84 Plus secondhand quite cheaply, then that is always a good option. And the difference obviously between the newer Plus CE and the Python is that basically, well, the difference between this one and the rose gold one, I just like the colour. That's the main thing that I've found the difference so far. I might find some other things as I use it more and get into it, but there isn't a lot of difference between the two. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight into the differences between the T84 Pluses and what the difference is between the standard T84 Plus and the CE version.